I have a map of Texas here. And the reason I have a map of Texas is I want to draw out where the nuclear power plants in this state are. So here we have one. This is the South Texas Project Electric Generating System Matagorda/Bay City, which is located approximately right here. And then we have another one, which is the Comanche Park Nuclear Power Plant in Summerville, which is located about here. Now, if we look at this on a map, the Comanche Park Nuclear Power Plant has approximately a 1 in 250,000 chance of being affected by an earthquake large enough to trigger a disaster similar to Fukushima. And so let's just assume for a moment that this one was to have a meltdown. If this one has a meltdown, then the prevailing wind direction, depending on the time of year, is either going to come this way or this way. To Dallas-Fort Worth with a combined population of approximately 5 million people. And if we look to the south, if Bay City was to have a similar problem, the wind, depending on the time of year, either goes out to the Gulf where it'll affect the entire U.S. South Coast, or the wind goes this way and it irradiates San Antonio, Austin, the third most populous area of Texas. And it's interesting to note that the South Texas Project Electric Generating System in Matagorda/Bay City is owned 40% by the city of San Antonio and 16% by the city of Austin. Now this is where I'm from right here. And before I left and moved to San Marcos, they were talking about building a nuclear power plant right here, which would have the exact same problems in the case of a meltdown as the Bay City plant. Now, let's just say, for example, that something similar to Fukushima were to happen. And it is possible there could be a tsunami in the Gulf triggered by an avalanche underwater or a mudslide in the Mississippi Delta. And in computer models, it appears this has happened in the past. But if it was, it would create a tidal wave that came right here and could potentially destroy the reactors at the Bay City plant, which in turn releases radiation into the Gulf and releases radiation into the Houston and San Antonio areas. It's stupid to keep building these. And there's no understanding of whether or not they're actually leaking, regardless of what we're told on a daily basis. Personally, I think they are. But we have to do something to stop the construction of nuclear power plants. Fortunately, the one in my hometown was shut down after Fukushima. I'm not sure if the two are related, but I'm assuming they probably were. But yeah, our entire state could be infected because of 2 spots on a map. And it could irradiate the entire United States.